Ladies and gentlemen, today I have with me a wonderful individual, a pioneer. I like to call her a beautiful Amazon. She's also a legend, a wonderful mother, a wife of whom everyone should want, and a significant individual in the sport to the point of majestic would clearly cover her realm. She is B. Youngs. How are you?
I'm so taken aback right now. Speechless. I feel amazing just because you just said that. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm just being honest, and this is how everyone I meet feels about you. Your grace and tenacity on the field is amazing, and your personality just makes other people shine. Not alone yours, but it's like a sun in a solar system. You just make other people brighten up, and it's a rare thing to have that in this industry, never mind in life itself. So I thank you for that.
No, I thank you for saying that.
Welcome to Inside the Paintballers studio. I don't even think I opened the show properly because I'm so taken away by you.
Oh,
so
well, thanks for having me on your show.
It's wonderful having you here. We're here at CPX Living Legends.
Yep.
2016. Is this your second Living Legends?
This is my second.
I'm surprised by that.
I am too. Yes. I think the first one was 2008, right?
I believe so,
what year
yes.
are we in? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16?
No,
2009.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my goodness gracious.
Yep, I actually took a sabbatical from paintball in 08.
Okay.
Up until 2012.
And we'll talk about that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginnings before this paintball stuff got into your life. Where did, is your full name Beatrice?
It is, yes.
And where did a young Beatrice grow up?
I was born in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Okay.
And
a Jersey girl.
I am a Jersey girl.
Where's the accent?
I lived in Florida for more years than I was in New Jersey.
Okay.
So
nice.
I don't even remember really picking up on the Jersey accent even as a kid.
Okay.
But my dad was originally from the South Bronx in New York City.
What?
Yes.
South Bronx?
South
Bronx?
South Bronx.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Went to Grace Dodge Vocational School there.
Okay.
And he moved us out, and he worked at the Newark airport forever for like 25 years, and then he moved us to Florida because he got transferred.
Okay.
So yeah.
Excuse me, I'm squinting and I don't want to look weird, and I don't want to look like a diva either. But it's like, geez. High school, how was that?
High school was awesome for me. I actually blossomed in high school. I was quite nerdy in middle school. I'm still a nerd, but but in high school I kind of blossomed and did a lot of extracurricular activity and
no, you don't say.
No, man, I really had a great time. I ended up being like the president of my class and captain of the cheer squad and French horn section leader in the marching band, wearing my cheer squad at halftime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was funny because I was more of a friend to everybody else but the popular clique. You know? So, and if I got made fun of, it was by the popular people.
Makes sense.
But that was kind of my MO, just to kind of be friends with everybody else except, you know, what everybody thought should have been the in crowd, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
That says a lot about you and how you feel about people. That's a huge thing right there. Mom and dad?
Mom and dad, they met in Korea. My mother is 100% from Seoul, Korea.
Okay.
Southern Korea.
Yes.
And my dad was in the United States Army.
Okay.
And he met her in '67, and he wanted to marry her right away.
If mom's anything like daughter, can you see that easily?
Yeah, and you know, my mom could have rode that home and, you know, been a citizen of the States, but she wanted to make sure that he really loved her. So a year later, he came back for her and actually married her after pen paling and everything for a year. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite a love story. And my parents are my world.
Goodness gracious, that's amazing.
But yeah, so they stayed together forever until my dad finally passed away back in 2008.
Oh.
And my mom still looks like she's 43 and is actually 73, and just sharp as a whip, and takes English, Spanish classes, learns how to speak German and the Deutsch language. Yeah.
Really?
So that's what kind of keeps her ticking, and she just takes really good care of herself.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
I do not,
Okay.
but she definitely does.
That's amazing. Wow. That's, out of all the languages, like, that's very cool.
Yeah. She's
Brothers
an inspiration for
or
me.
sisters?
I have a brother.
Okay.
And we are a sibling rivalry.
Oh, really?
We love each other now, but growing up, boy, we were very competitive with each other. And I think part of who I am today is because of my father and my brother.
What does he do?
My brother now is one of the best barbers in Southwest Florida.
What's his name?
His name's Bill.
Nice.
He won't let me call him my little brother Bill. So
Billy.
now I have to respect and call him Bill.
Outstanding.
But he's great. He's actually really athletic too, but tried paintball, and he's a natural athlete, so he picked up on the strategy before I even did. Like, I thought it was just about shooting whoever I could see, but he actually understood the strategy. So, but he didn't want to take to it, again, because of all our rivalry. Oh, that's your thing.
Yeah.
So you do that, and
It would be kind of hard being the little brother
Yes,
of B.
it was
wow,
like that.
That'd be intimidating.
Going through high school, it was definitely like, oh, you're Beatrice's
That's
brother.
quite the shadow.
Yeah. Dude, I could write a book about it. It'd probably be a bestseller.
I have no doubt whatsoever. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you.
And he's in Florida. Are you in Florida too at the moment? or-
Yes, we've both been there since '84, and then after high school, I actually lived in Tallahassee, went to Florida State University, transferred with my AA degree, and went to the University of Florida, home of the Gators, and I finished my degree in Bachelor's of Science in Human Resource Development.
Nice.
So yeah,
Okay.
I was a professional student. I was a big football fan. So I
Okay.
kept making excuses, like, gotta do one more fall season, one more.
I need this credit. I just need this
just
credit.
gotta take this class,
It'd
Dad.
be worth it. It's like, oh goodness. And I know
Yeah.
tuition there isn't fun, so yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's wow. That's very cool to know. And I went to Syracuse, so I was an
nice.
Orangeman, and I didn't watch sports at all. So I was one of the ultimate nerds. So for you being Gators fan, like, that's huge. That's well done on you.
Yeah, love the
Goodness.
Gators. Love them.
And a woman who likes watching sports too. How impressive is that? Oh gosh. Your family must have thought it somewhat weird when you took up this paintball stuff.
You know, they did. I worked in corporate America for a couple of years before even considering paintball.
In the
but-
field that you studied.
Yes,
Okay.
I was doing mostly a lot of sales and marketing stuff, and in computer software and computer hardware.
Okay.
And then I ended up working for a French Canadian that had basically like a cellular phone service that he wanted to introduce overseas.
Okay.
And so I did some overseas traveling, went to Australia and everything doing that, wearing the pantyhose and the outfits. And
Yeah.
it-
Pencil skirts.
yeah, and eventually I just felt like it wasn't my place. Like it didn't feel home to me.
Yeah.
So I was also a DJ and a musician. I sang, and I wanted to be a hip hop musician.
Goodness
believe it or
gracious.
not. So I moved to California after I met Tammy and Todd Adamson, and I actually played paintball for Femme Fatales, which is one of the first female teams to actually be both beautiful and competitive. I mean, we took
So
home
the
some
name
medals.
was the real thing.
The real
like,
deal,
Wow.
We really
Amazing.
tried hard too, because we were lucky because Todd Adamson's a professional paintball player, and now he's actually here at Living Legends, and
Okay.
him being our coach was the advantage.
Okay.
But I kind of pulled away because I wanted to learn more, but I also wanted to pursue a music career in California. So I just jumped in my 4Runner, and my dad went with me. We went 3,000 whatever the miles it is from Florida to California.
Yeah.
And he dropped me off right in the heart of San Diego. And I was introduced to all the JT guys. So I ended up getting a job at JT USA, and it was just temporary, I thought.
Yes.
I was
okay.
just going to do it temporarily, and I met amazing people like Chuck Hench, who was the president of the MPPL back in 2000,
Yeah.
when it was Super 7 was the hot event. And he gave me an opportunity and opened up a door at JT as a promotions coordinator.
Okay.
And just kind of took off from there. And
Wow.
I kind of had some problems in the music stuff. It's a really long story.
Well, I heard that you were pretty close to having a record deal.
Yeah, I was. And
Wow.
and it ended up, the guy got arrested by the FBI. I was there, knocked on the door, and the FBI, I don't even know if I could say this on
Okay.
record. I don't want to say it.
Okay. What?
But it was very awkward. And so he ended
FBI
up.
came to the door.
Yeah,
it was a little
FBI came
awkward.
to the door. It was awkward, and I was like, whoa. The dream just slipped away right out of my fingers. But you know what? Sometimes things happen for a reason.
Exactly.
And, you know, with that entertainment background, I applied it to the paintball events I did.
Yes.
And I DJ'd and I announced and spoke on the microphone to just try to bring people into the JT compound in 2001. And
Oh, you must have rocked it.
We really had a good time.
I can imagine.
Had a great time.
Yes.
So that was kind of like my next mission. After that kind of fell through, I kind of had to shift and really figure out what I really wanted to do.
Okay.
But it kind of opened up my eyes, because the music industry is so difficult to get into.
I work in the music industry sometimes, and it's a little, even when you get into it, it's still difficult.
Yes. I wish, idealistically, I would have loved to have sung backup for Madonna.
So were you singing, or were you doing hip hop?
I was singing and dancing. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, but my throat shot from screaming at people in paintball.
Yeah. Welcome to my world, my dear.
Yeah. So, and then sideline coaching, you know, when it was in the pro scene, before they took sideline coaching away, you could hear me a mile away. And I was probably really annoying to some people too. But not to the Ironman. Back in 2007, 2008, they went back to back with sideline coaching.
If you could compare your singing style with someone of maybe today or yesterday or the 90s, what would you compare that to? So
my singing style?
Yeah.
Kind of like the Fugees.
Oh my God. Excuse me.
Whoa.
I literally.
Whoa, oh, 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 la 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 la. Whoa, la. Whoa, la.
One time.
La.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, stop.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
And I gotta sing in a low alto now.
Oh my gosh.
Because my upper range is gone.
I have goosebumps right now.
Yep.
My people are in the background, like we're all.
Yep. Even My Boo, you know how like they have the Running Man challenge? I can sing that song pretty good too.
Anyone
We'll
can
just
sing
leave it
that
at
song,
that. I'm done.
Wow.
But yeah,
Is-
so
I
no,
am-
I
No. I
That's-
work with a lot of singers. My mom's a professional gospel singer even.
Right on.
We do music videos. I'm impressed.
Right on.
Sorry, I just hit my mic. I'm impressed.
Yeah,
Well done.
it's been a while. I just sing in the shower now.
That's a comment.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Or people ask me to sing at their weddings and
Oh
stuff
wow, I had no clue.
like that. Yeah, mostly my kids tell me to, Mom, stop, you know?
Don't they though? Don't they though? Goodness.
I'm like, that sounds so good. Why?
That's what kids do.
That's what they're very realistic. My big critics.
Wow, jeez. Okay, we're gonna have a concert at some point because that was
Yay! But you know, like I said, I think what kind of set me apart was thankfully because of the entertainment stuff.
Yes.
I enjoy making people happy and bringing people's smiles out, you know. And what I saw back then is we needed to make paintball more of a show.
Yes.
And boy, 2000 to about 2006 to me were paintball's prime years in terms of really showcasing the tournament scene.
Yeah.
We had the International Amateur Open, and we had DJs, and just
it was huge.
Booths were all competing on who had the best DJ or whatever.
The look, the style.
And it was just kind of that whole catering to the customer, you know, and just kind of impressing them.
Wow.
So I think we need to get back to that for sure.
From what I hear, you're one of the most, or one of the first paintballers to be on a TV talk show about sports. I think you were on TSN.
Yes.
At some point,
in
weren't
Canada.
you? Yeah.
Yes. It was awesome because it was actually through Zap Archon. They were also working with Skyball.
Okay.
They were
Wow.
They were huge. They were responsible for the Skyball event. That was like the event to go to, and they managed to get us into the show to help promote that paintball event, and which I thought was fabulous, you know. And it was kind of difficult because some of the topics that they brought up on the show were sports topics, and I'm not a really huge hockey fan. I'll watch it, but
How
I didn't
dare
know.
you?
Yeah, I know, right?
You're Canadian. How dare you?
I'm American, I'm sorry. But yeah, like, and so there were some awkward moments where I really tried to put my 2 pennies in. It was rough. But nonetheless, we still got to have the opportunity to just mention the paintball event being there. And so, yeah.
Wow.
Show.
That is, you guys have no idea. My goodness gracious, that's very cool. You are a true ambassador to this thing. And you, not only for women, just in general, you're ambassador to sport. And it's an amazing thing.
Thank you.
Let's talk about you some more. You're a mommy.
Yes.
Tell me about your little ones.
My two little ones are changed my life. You know, just even getting married changed my life. But then having children was a significant change. At first, it took me a while to adjust because my initial wasn't really to have children. You know, I know that sounds kind of bad, but
no,
I was
totally
so driven.
that.
I was so driven to take care of myself and have my own career and make my own money and not depend on anybody else. And I really didn't have children in terms of. I didn't feel like I needed them at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want to get married even, but Mike Paxson changed that.
We'll get into that young gentleman in a minute.
But my kids, Beatrix is 6, she'll be 7 July 2016, and Diane is 3, and she'll be 4 December 2016, and they're amazing. They teach me something every day, and especially Diane, she's more perfect than the normal because she was born with a chromosomal abnormality. But even with being a quote-unquote special needs child, she defines who I am.
Yes.
You know, she gives me purpose. Both my kids do.
Yeah.
So Diane,
as a father
yeah.
of my son is on the autism spectrum disorder, so I know how it feels to have a special child and to be able. You have challenges.
Totally.
It's not easy.
It isn't.
And you know, it's you've taken a hiatus from the sport and to deal with certain things, but you've done it in a magnificent way. Help of Mike, your other half, help of family.
Yeah.
It's been tricky.
It's been definitely tricky. I need both. I know probably some people probably look at me that, well, why aren't you just focused on one thing? Because it is hard being a parent of any child. Doesn't matter if they have an abnormality or not.
Not, exactly.
So paintball for me is that escape or stress relief. And it just kind of gives me that drive to miss them and then be just even more happy to come home because you obviously your heart grows fonder when you have absence. So
it lifts you. One of my favorite phrases is it allows you to recharge the batteries.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Like, to be able, you're not escaping, but to be able to go out and do your thing and come back, you get to, because it's very tiring to be a parent.
It is. It is.
You know, and to be able to get out once in a while and do this.
Totally.
And let be out and just explode and let all that stress out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Take it out on the field is a huge thing.
It is.
And it actually makes you a better parent because you get to go home
rejuvenated.
Mm-hmm. It's fresh.
That's the best word to describe it.
Kiss them all over again like it's a new thing.
Indeed.
You know what I mean?
I totally do.
And our babies are everything to us. So they see this change when you come back. Because it's day to day, picking up from school, after school, other cares that we need to do, other special things we need to do for the kids, it can grow on you quickly.
Yeah.
And you've handled it masterfully.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's your mom's genes or what, but you don't age.
Oh yeah, it is definitely the Korean gene.
And your athleticism is excellent.
Right
You're
on.
a great player. I've watched you play. I'm not into the tournament thing. I appreciate it for what it is, and it's an amazing thing. But I've actually bought seasons of tournament TV just to watch your team play.
Oh, right on.
I've seen you announce when Destiny is going to be playing this and such a time, and I've put things on hold in my office saying, okay, I got to see if these girls are legit.
Yeah, we try hard.
And you get in it.
Yeah.
That's the big thing about paintball is that it's all equalizing. It doesn't matter if it's a man or woman team. Once you get those goggles on, we're all the same. We're all shooting paint.
Yeah, that's kind of been the purpose. You know, we started out as an all-female team back in 2004, but we didn't feel like we had the speed necessary. So what we ended up doing was we made it a mostly female team and added 2 more guys just on the tapes,
Okay.
just to make the
Yep.
tapes. And we were actually the first co-ed squad with a mostly female roster team to win a D2 championship at the national and internationally known level.
Really?
And Paxson was coaching us. And so that's kind of been like one of my most favorite things to brag about, because we really strived in Southern California to practice every weekend and learn everything that we could to be legitimate.
Absolutely.
Now, my objective has kind of shifted a little bit because it's hard for me to practice on a regular basis.
Yes,
So
it
now
is.
we play at a lower level, but I try to call upon females that I know that are training on a regular basis or can basically pick up a paintball marker and know how to shoot it and understand the strategy of the game. Even if, like Katsukor, for example, she's totally into bodybuilding and she doesn't always have the opportunity to practice, but all she needs is maybe a Friday before an event and it clicks right back into her because she's a natural athlete, you know? So that's kind of like our new objective now.
You went from Femme Fatales to Destiny. You've helped create some of the most iconic all-female teams that exist today. What would you say to young women? And I know this seems like a very cliche question you get literally every
All the time. Yep.
you do, but would you recommend it for young ladies? Would you not?
Absolutely.
What would you do? Okay.
Yes. As soon as I can get BB out there, I totally want her to. And I think it's because I'm such a huge advocate of humans being humans, regardless
Yes,
of gender.
absolutely.
Especially in the paintball scene.
Oh, yes.
Because if you teach them young, too, the right technique and the proper way to dive or whatever,
Yes.
then you can mold that human being into the right player, regardless of what kind of gender they are.
And
you
that
know?
life lesson for her and any female is a lot.
Totally.
Because it goes beyond your sexuality, your sex, your sexuality, your color. It shows you that you can do anything.
Right.
You
And
know
so
what I
if
mean?
you get them at a younger age and inspire them at that level, then the possibility of them continuing and keeping that going and passing the torch so that way paintball continues is most important. So
Now,
I highly encourage it.
Making the vast millions of dollars that we do in this sport, would you want your young ones to be a professional?
Actually, you want an honest answer?
That's why we're
I
here.
also want her to play golf, and I also want BB to maybe do soccer, or perhaps I even consider tennis.
Okay.
Because you know Mike is 6'1", and
Yes.
his parents are 6'2".
Yes.
So her
We're
potential
getting
to be
Venus and Serena size.
tall is
Yeah.
she's going to be a really good bodied
Yes.
athlete. So I want her to try everything,
Okay.
but I know she'll still gravitate to paintball because it's in her DNA.
Well,
you know?
yes. And I laughed because I just spoke with your husband, and he told me about his upbringing and his parents wanting him to be a professional golfer. So that's
yes.
why I laughed when that
Yes.
came about, because that would be a very interesting way to switch things around, right?
Totally, totally.
But I totally agree with like tennis. Why not? Like,
Yeah,
goodness
you
gracious.
could do both,
Yeah.
you know, and it could be a fallback for one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, you could have success in one sport. It could be paintball or tennis.
Why not?
And still have something to
Why
fall back
limit
on.
them in any way whatsoever?
Right, cross promote. Yeah.
Hey, that's what it's all about, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Goodness gracious. Your travels are increasing now.
Yes.
You're getting a little bit more back into it. You as your challenges with your daughter and her special needs are being more met by other people,
yes,
you can get out of the house more.
Yes.
It's a very freeing thing.
It is very freeing. It just started at the end of January for Diane, so now both children are in schools.
Oh, nice.
And so that's been significantly better for me.
Yeah. Weight off the shoulders.
Yeah, I almost felt trapped, because again, like I mentioned before, it was never my original objective to do that. Some women love it. They want it. That's what they want to do, and I totally respect that.
You're an extreme sports specialist.
Yeah.
It must have been very difficult.
I like to have a career. I still like to be an entrepreneur and
yes, of course,
come up with ideas and projects that I think will help people, not just paintball, but just people in general, especially women.
Yes.
Especially women.
Yes.
And so that's kind of like what I feel Destiny's been in the paintball world now, is to help empower that, because I can put together a pretty good group of women and go to a tournament, even if we're not making semifinals. If we just make Sunday, people are still impressed by that,
Absolutely.
And we always get a pat on the back for trying.
I've never heard a negative thing said about Destiny or
I hope not.
Fatales.
Yeah, because again, like we do try really hard, and we don't get 100% sponsorship. Like some people think we have a free ride, and honestly, we don't, because the economy says so. And so a lot of us have to still pay our dues and still pay our portions, and and if we do get something quote unquote from for free from a manufacturer, we actually have to promote and market and still work for that. You see, so that's why it kind of makes me mad when, you get free stuff all the time. I'm like, really? You don't think I have to work for that?
That would drive me crazy.
Totally, man. It's
actually, it does drive me crazy, but
yeah.
It's quite the challenge to be able to do that, and there's a lot of this sport is very male dominated.
Yeah, it is.
And so for you to make the strides you've been making is huge.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys continue that on a huge level.
Absolutely.
Destiny's only growing.
It is, and I've always played big games and scenarios since the beginning.
Yes.
More so maybe 2 or 3 years after my rookie years, starting with the tournament. I just jumped right into the tournament scene because Tammy just wanted to play an all-female team into the tournaments. Tammy being? Tammy Pickering Adamson. Okay. She's married to Todd Adamson, who's retired from Aftershock, and now he's coaching for him.
Oh, good. Okay.
But yeah, and so Michael and I played generals against each other at a big game in 2004, and then we were just invited to a lot of big games and scenarios after that. Okay. Even before it was cool to be a professional quote-unquote tournament player. Yes. And then Living Legends was born, 2009, and then you started seeing more of the tournament players jumping into the big games. Yeah. So wow. Yeah, now I'm doing more big games too, because it's such a good relief from the pressures of playing tournaments. Absolutely. Well, that's why I specialize in it, because the stress is not there as much. It isn't. Unless you're a general. Unless you're a general, yes, and you go, oh man, and it's so. Sometimes you just want to go run away and just be a part of a troop. As someone who's General Legends twice, trust me. Yes, so yeah, it can be very interesting. A lot of delegating for sure. I wanted to start closing this by asking a few interesting questions as inspired by the great artist Bernard Kivo. Okay. There's some off the top of your head, whatever comes to your mind first, simple answer questions. Okay. What is your favorite tangible object in the world? My husband gave me a sandana. Oh, wow. And I wear it all the time. And I feel like it gives me Mike Paxson powers. So that's probably my tangible item. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Especially when I go to any event, I always wear it. So I would say that would be it. What is your favorite thing to hear a person say? that I'm doing a good job. You know, that's really important for me.
Yes, sorry.
I want to feel like all my effort and pouring my passion into something is worthwhile. And I've always been that way. I've always felt like I've always had people's approval and to feel included. You know, that's kind of like a big thing for me. So that's kind of like my fave.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What is your least favorite thing to hear someone say?
That I'm only popular, or I, you know, get a lot of stuff because I'm a female. You know.
Such a lost individual.
Yeah, and it only whenever that they say that, I don't get mad or bitter. I just kind of explain to them, you know, I really work hard at trying to be the best. You know.
Even in this day and age, you still hear that? Do people still say that, you think?
Not to my face.
No,
you know?
never. No.
Not to my
That'll
face.
take some form of bravery. That never happens.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No, and I think because of my education and my experience, like, and everything that I've done to get to this point in my life, I feel like it shouldn't be about that, you know. So no, I definitely don't want people to say that.
I hear you. What is music to your ears? Something you hear makes you feel good. Could be a song, could be a sound, any.
Music to my ears. Hearing my children laugh. Hearing my husband say he loves me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and just laughter. Just people laughing is music to my ears.
I love that. What is something you love to do other than paintball?
I love to dance and goof off.
Oh, nice.
And I like to sing with my kids and just be silly.
Like, that's what it's all about, right there.
I enjoy that. Yeah.
I do videos of me dancing in the kitchen, for Pete's sake. I love to dance.
Yeah.
What was the worst job you've ever done, or you hated?
Worst job I hated has to again be working in corporate America and almost being targeted. I don't want to say there was sexual harassment. It definitely happened, you know. But I didn't enjoy that, seeing it all. I kind of didn't like working for someone. I really just always had this hope that I would just be my own boss. But I don't regret the fact that I went through that, to understand that that's not what I wanted, you know. And it gave me that motivation to want to be into my own kind of organization and start something that I can call my own and develop it and kind of be a mentor eventually and treat people with more respect than what I experienced when I was working for somebody.
It's all a learning experience, right?
It definitely is.
The negative stuff, we learn from it.
Indeed, yeah.
And we grow.
It was nothing I couldn't handle because I knew they were ignorant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't see you not being able to handle anything like
right.
this.
I just, and it's funny because even if I was offended, I never let them know.
Of course. Never let them see you sweat, baby.
Never.
Outstanding. What was something that you've gained in your life from paintball?
Man, the community.
Yeah.
I've never in my life ever experienced the type of people that I've met. Obviously, I met my soulmate, you know, and then being a part of the paintball world, I can go anywhere probably in the world, seriously.
Yeah.
Probably in any other country, and call up the local paintball store or field, hey, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know this guy maybe? Okay, you do? All right, well, I'm here and I need help. Like, I was in Boston, and it was Boston Paintball that eventually saved me. Anthony, he came out and picked me up from the airport because my daughter and I were stranded there overnight.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and I just made a little post, and people came to our help, and it was because of all the people that I knew in paintball. So everybody really kind of came together and helped us out. So.
Yeah, when we say paintball is family, it's not just a catchphrase. It's quite literally, they'll look out for you. Yeah. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, I'm really blessed because of that. And that's why I stay in it. You know, like my mother tells me all the time, why? Biches, you have paintball all over your skin. Why you play? you know, and I'm like, Mom, you don't understand, you know, and you make no money. My dad used to say, you are the most famous broke person I know. You know, I'm like, thanks, Dad. Thanks. But you know what? The traveling and the expenses of traveling and everything that we do as characters in this sport is priceless. Yeah. And so it's kind of hard for my mom to understand that because
it's hard for everybody.
It's got to be a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's no, trust me. I've been doing this a long time and gotten pretty popular. When you get away from this sport, nobody understands why we do what we do, and it's like. But
I need it. I just there's no other way to explain it. I just feel like it's very important for me to be involved, and it's like running Destiny. Like I could probably do solo stuff and be like a Wolf or be a Greg Hastings and not do a Destiny thing, but I just feel compelled to, again, have purpose in life and be a mentor for these girls that are up and coming, because I feel in my heart that nobody else can do it the way that I can. Not that I'm like bragging about it, because I've been doing it for so long that I know most of what will most likely happen and have an answer for it. Yeah. You know, so.
Wow, that's a great thing to know and feel. Yes. Like, my goodness,
it's almost like a safe haven for women.
It is. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it is. And like I said, the brand name cannot be touched. And when I say that, I mean everyone trusts it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If I see a lady with that Destiny across her chest, not trying to sound sexist in any way. No. I can trust whoever is wearing that. Right on. And I can go to her and ask her for help on and off the field. That's I hope so. Yeah. B does not let just anybody wear that. That's right. You know what I mean? Yep. I mean, maybe you or Lynn or like anyone on that team is dependable, trustworthy, and outstanding individual. Right. And beautiful too. Yeah. So it's a big thing. That's just the bonus. And I say a lot of guys are beautiful too, so don't take that as a word. No, not at all. I'm all about it. I love beautiful women too, so I think you should embrace that. You know what I mean? It's all good. Something that you feel that you've lost or sacrificed for paintball? Oh, wow. You know, sometimes I feel guilty that I didn't have more time with my dad. And I don't think my dad would allow me to feel guilty about it. But now that he's gone, like I totally feel guilty that I didn't spend more time with him because I was still going away on tournaments or paintball events. I almost needed to though, because my dad was paralyzed from the neck down. He had this rare neurological disorder, was bedridden for 4 years, couldn't talk, couldn't walk, couldn't go to the bathroom by himself. I did everything from the nitty gritty, I don't even want to say. No, of course. And nothing that a child should probably do for their parent, but my dad asked me, please don't put me in a home. And so I just learned how to be basically a CNA, and there was moments I would go into the bathroom and just cry into a pillow. Yeah. He could still hear me crying. I know he could, and I'm sure he probably felt very sick and upset about it too. But you know what? Life throws you those things just because you have to kind of go through some pain. You know what I'm saying? In order to find your ideal. Absolutely. That's what I kind of always. But I think refer to it. And sounding like the outstanding individual your dad is, that he would feel good that you were getting out there and doing your thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't see him ever saying, I wish she would be here. No, he's saying, she's taking such damn good care of me that she deserves to be out there and do her thing. And she's doing something amazing. Yeah. She's not just going out there and partying and you know what I mean? Correct. She's setting a staple in life that she's one of the only poor people in the world doing. Right. I mean, that was really important for me, and that's why I was so headstrong about it, because I didn't want to just not follow through. Yeah. But yeah, that's one thing I do feel guilty about, you know, that I kind of didn't have more time with him. But at the same time, everything happens for a reason, you know. I don't think you should feel good. Like I said, I think he's proud of you now and was then, and forever will be, because his daughter is like a monster on the field. Okay, so that's a beautiful thing within itself. Thank you. Where do you see B 10 years from now? Oh man, I definitely still want to have Destiny.
I want to work with Mike more, because when I had children, he kind of started doing his own thing, and we went away from doing events as a team together to me being a part. And so even to this day, like, I'll do events separate from him. And even when we are at the same NXL event, he doesn't come over to coach us anymore. He might walk the field with us, but I always have to find other guys to kind of fill the coaching position. So in 10 years from now, my hope is that we can come back together and reconnect and be that power team that we once were, and maybe run our own field someday, or paintball store, or Destiny will continue to be our own brand and have more product available for players in general, with an emphasis on women.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if you ever open a field, guaranteed Wolf will be coming down
Yay!
and opening up his membership. So that would be something to experience within itself.
Right
on. Thank you.
Thank you
for coming on from the bottom of my heart. Wanted to interview B properly for a very long time, and you are not only a significant part of this sport, but you make young ladies want to play. You scare men because you know how to dominate a field, and you've been in this sport, and your experience is immense. And please, for the love of God, keep doing what you're doing.
Right on, man.
Because Destiny, Army, Destiny, anyone associated with your name is a good thing.
Right
and
on.
we need more like you.
Thank you.
And you're an icon. If someone does not know you, I literally go, "Are you crazy?"
And I don't ever expect
Do you
anybody.
know who she is?
No, that's
Goodness
awesome,
gracious.
Thanks for saying that.
No, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And there is a very limited amount of ladies I can say, unfortunately, because we need more like you. And
agree.
you are single-handedly changing that.
Right on.
That's
Thank
why
you.
I wanted you to be on the show. That's why I wanted you to be the first lady on this show. And that's why I'm going to have you back in a few years for part 2, because we cannot cover everything that is your awesomeness in half an hour.
Thanks, Wolf.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Inside the Paintballers Studio. This is B. Youngs, and we are all greater people for hearing her story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Wolf.
Is that a cut?
We're good. You guys can start whenever you like.
All right.
Hold on, give me 1 second. Quick Snapchat. Here with the ever wonderful B. Youngs. We're here shooting live at CPX and having fun. You okay?
I'm okay. I'm tired, but I'm okay.
Good to go. Oh yeah, baby. I think are we chest up for the side cameras or knee up?
Chest out.
Okay, chest up, and this is a
So you
little
can take
more.
your pants off if you need to.
Oh, good. Finally. Jesus
Finally.
Murphy. All right. How do I look, miss?
Marvelous.
I hope so, baby. Yeah, I gotta look natural. Yes. She's helping me.
Who's the real diva, me or Wolf?
Oh, I am by
Wolf.
far.
Total.
I am by far.
I need to learn how to be a diva.
I probably take second, to be honest.
Yeah.